Older generations love to tell us that childhood is the ultimate golden era of our lives. My grandfather recently sat me down, looked me in the eye, and told me that youth is a time of unmatched peace and purity. And then, right on cue, he started soiling his diaper, instantly shattering that profound moment of wisdom. It got me thinking, if childhood is universally praised as our peak existence, why are all of our actual memories defined by irrational fears, gross bodily functions, and feral survival tactics? The adult brain has a habit of sanitizing the past. It edits out the grime and tricks us into forgetting that growing up is a chaotic gauntlet of absurd misunderstandings. To understand who we really are, we have to strip away that warm, fuzzy nostalgia and look at the unhinged, wild reality of being a kid. The first layer of this chaos starts right inside the house. You might picture domestic harmony, but siblings actually operate on intense WWE-style aggression, brawling over property that has absolutely zero value. Kids also completely lack a basic moral and economic compass. Look no further than the tooth fairy. This chart shows the ROI of a classic childhood scam. To get 32 rupees, I stole my grandmother's dentures, a massive 7,000 rupee input cost for a microscopic 32 rupee payout. We took absolute pride in executing this terrible financial trade. Outside the house, the stakes get even higher at school. Nothing disrupts the social hierarchy faster than a younger brother soiling his pants in the middle of class. The school staff doesn't treat this like a normal bodily accident. They call in the older sibling with the grave severity and heavy suspense of detectives investigating a mafia crime scene. The childhood home operates as a micro-society governed by brute force, terrible economics, and manufactured drama. Step outside, and the neighborhood street, or the gully, becomes the next expanding zone of chaos. Out here, kids survive purely on feral resourcefulness. Look at the sheer absurdity of neighborhood games. A discarded, filthy car tire gets stripped of its original purpose and instantly transformed into a multi-use extreme sport and a high-stakes gambling ring. Then there is the hyper-competitive arena of neighborhood kite flying. With thousands of kites filling these crowded skies, kids, especially my notoriously cutthroat Gujarati friends, turn the festival into an absolute war zone. A child's imagination operates with severe delusions of grandeur. If a kite gets cut and disappears into the clouds, the story always blows massively out of proportion. We fully convinced ourselves that our kite string had drifted into deep space and successfully sliced through NASA's $100 million Hubble Space Telescope. We even hallucinated that ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, was deploying elite agents across our rooftops to recover their downed satellite before we could. Playing outside offered a daily exercise in intense delusion, turning literal garbage into extreme sports, and minor playground accidents into international incidents. To maintain any order over this chaos, parents deploy the ultimate societal threat, sending you away to boarding school. Kids don't fear boarding school because they're worried about separation anxiety. They fear it because their brains wildly misinterpret adult pop culture to construct literal physical monsters. A child's brain processes the emotional trailer for Tare Zameen Par as a terrifying high-stakes action thriller. To a child, this man looks like a Joker-like mercenary hunting down a rabid star-eating monster named Ishan Awasti. Childhood fears have absolutely zero grounding in adult logic. They are literal, terrifying misinterpretations of the incredibly confusing world adults built around them. Which brings us right back to my grandfather. He was entirely right. Childhood is the best time of our lives, but for completely the wrong reasons. It lacked any peace or innocence. Instead, it was the one fleeting era in our existence where we were socially permitted to operate on pure, unhinged instinct. Under that lens, a missing paper kite becomes a classified space mission, a heartwarming movie morphs into a monster thriller, and pawning your grandmother's teeth is a viable business strategy. Adult nostalgia is really a mourning for the loss of that glorious, unpredictable chaos.